Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really fascinating case study from the experts at AdShot Media. They completely cracked the code on a failing Google Ads campaign. And you know what? The solution had nothing to do with a bigger budget. Nope, it was all about understanding this simple but super powerful quirk of human psychology. Okay, so let's just start with this question, because I think it's going to feel very familiar. You sit down, you open up Netflix, you're ready to watch something, and you just scroll. And you scroll, and you keep scrolling, and before you know it, 30 minutes have gone by and you haven't watched a single thing. You know the feeling, right? Well, it turns out that feeling of being totally overwhelmed by choice, that's not just a movie night problem. It was the absolute key, the light bulb moment that explained why a really well-funded ad campaign was getting zero, and I mean zero, results for their client. And that brings us to the client in question, a UK-based furniture brand. Now, these guys had everything going for them. Premium products, a healthy ad budget, a gorgeous website. But they came to AdShot Media with a really serious, business-threatening problem. And it really was that simple and that serious. It's a pain that, so many e-commerce owners feel. You can see the traffic coming in from your ads, you see people are clicking, but the cash register, it just stays completely silent. So, instead of just throwing more money at the problem, which is often the easy way out, the team at AdShot Media decided to go way more deeper. They launched a full-on diagnostic audit, and they focused on 3 key areas to really pinpoint the root of the problem. Okay, so this is how AdShot Media broke it down. It's a super smart, methodical process. First, you start with what the client is actually saying. Then, you dig into the technical stuff, the back end of the campaign. And finally, and this is so important, you walk in the customer's shoes. You see what they actually experience after they click that ad. And let me tell you, that last step, that's usually where the biggest problems are hiding. And what they found was just a classic recipe for wasted ad spend. The client was only using Google's broad Performance Max campaigns. We call them PMax. They're great for reach, but here they were attracting totally irrelevant searches. But the real kicker, the thing that made them go, aha, every single person who clicked an ad was dumped onto the exact same overwhelming product page, just filled with dozens and dozens of choices. And this right here, this is what we call the Netflix effect in the e-commerce world, and it is an absolute conversion killer. I mean, think about it. A customer is looking for a specific kind of sofa, and suddenly they're staring at 50 different styles, colors, and sizes. Their brain just freezes. It's so much easier to just leave than it is to try and make a difficult choice. Just how powerful is this? Well, check this out. There was this famous study where a jam company cut their flavor options from 24 all the way down to just 6, and their purchase rates went up by a factor of 10. That is a 10x increase in sales just by offering fewer choices. It's incredible. So once they understood that powerful psychological trigger, everything just clicked into place for the team at AdShot Media. They knew the problem wasn't really the ads, it was the confusing journey they were creating. And so they recommended a complete restructure of the whole thing. Okay, this slide is where it all comes together, and it's just such a brilliant shift in thinking. On the left, you've got the old way, one big, messy path to an overwhelming page. But on the right, you see the new AdShot Media strategy, creating these super specific, clean pathways. So if someone searches for a sofa, they don't see every piece of furniture anymore. No way. Instead, a targeted search ad takes them straight to a page with just one high-potential sofa. It's all about creating that perfect match between what someone wants and where they land. And the solution wasn't just about structure. It was also a much smarter way to use the budget. See, AdShot Media didn't get rid of PMax. They just repurposed it for what it's best at, that broad reach and brand awareness. Then they layered in those new hyper-targeted search ads to grab customers who were, ready to buy right now. The real magic is how they work together. The data from both campaigns feeds back into Google's algorithm, and it creates this awesome feedback loop that just makes the entire system smarter and more efficient over time. So why does this focused approach from AdShot Media work so well? Well, it really just boils down to a simple but powerful principle. When it comes to conversions, clarity is way more valuable than cash. This new structure that AdShop Media built basically creates this powerful three-part win. First, it forces the business to get strategic and identify its hero products, the absolute best sellers. Second, it totally eliminates that frustrating decision paralysis for the customer. And third, this isn't a one-time fix. It actually creates a repeatable, scalable framework that the business can use for every single hero product they have. And look, the results just speak for themselves. You don't have to take my word for it. The client's feedback really drives home the power of this approach. By focusing on clarity, not only did they solve their sales problem, but they also learned so much about their own product line, which let them finally scale profitably. So if you remember just one thing from this whole AdShop Media case study, let it be this. If your ads aren't converting, just pause for a second before you throw more money at them. The real problem might just be a lack of clarity in the customer journey you've built. As we wrap up this explainer, it's really worth taking a moment to ask yourself this question. Are your campaigns guiding customers down a clear, direct path? Or are you accidentally giving them a bad case of the Netflix effect and driving them away with way too many choices? Thank you for watching. The insights in this explainer came directly from the strategic and brilliant work of AdShop Media. They specialize in cutting through all that noise to build campaigns that deliver true clarity and, most importantly, campaigns that actually drive conversions.